Hey, everybody, let me tell you something. Do not despise small beginnings. I want all of you all who this video message will resonate with to take this to your heart. Do not despise small beginnings. A couple of months ago, I made a video message and I was telling you all to be consistent. And I told you to not give up no matter what you go through, no matter what is thrown at you, no matter what you see happening around you. I told you all that consistency is key as far as your gift, your talent, and your skill and goals go. But I want to let you all know something. Over the course of your life, there may be times where things are stolen from you, things are taken away from you, things are destroyed that you built. And from that, some people, they will completely give up on their dream, goal, or vision. When someone has been hit hard by a situation or a circumstance in life, they will rest in that and they will feel like, well, it's not meant for me to be a singer. It's not meant for me to be a dancer. It's not meant for me to be a prophet. It's not meant for me to be a preacher. It's not meant for me to do hair and own a beauty salon. It's not meant for me to be a chef. It's not meant for me to own a restaurant. It's not meant for me to be a social media influencer or a public speaker. It is not meant for me to own a daycare. So I'm going to do something else. But on the other hand, there are some people, when these type of trials and tribulations happen to them, they start working on a new method and they try their best to develop a strategy to start over. And when they start over, it may be a small beginning. And let me explain that. In a small beginning, you may not have all the tools, all the money, all the products, and all the people that you need to help you build something once again. And so if you don't have everything, you may have a few scraps of certain things here and there. Let's say you want to open up a restaurant, but your small scraps may be on the menu, you can only serve 2 or 3 different entrees or 2 different types of meals. That's it, because you don't have the money to venture out and buy more things to build on that menu. There are some of you all, you may want to do hair. You may not have a long clientele. And so right now, you consistently have 3 or 4 people that come to you and you do their hair. Some of you all, you may have had a situation where you were mistreated or overlooked in ministry and you didn't have the proper training, you didn't have the proper support or support system at all. And now that you are more mature in God and God has grown you up and dealt with you and you've received some deliverance, now you're going to start off in small beginnings and you might go to a couple of neighborhood churches and work with people there in order to walk into the spiritual gifts that God has given you. Whatever the situation is, because for each one of you all, your situation in a small beginning is going to look different. Nobody's situation is going to look the same. But what I want you all to know is that if you've taken a hit in life, don't give up on it. And if you were bold enough, courageous enough, and if you were disciplined enough and positive enough, that's what I really want to say. If you were positive enough to get up from that and dust yourself off, if you are now at a small beginning and at a very small starting point, don't be angry about it. Don't despise it. In the book of Zechariah, chapter 4, when you have the availability, go read that. And I'm just paraphrasing. God was telling Zechariah to not despise small beginnings. And it also says, for the Lord rejoices to see the beginning of the works. I'm just paraphrasing. And so I thought about it. I said, well, if I got to go out here and rebuild something, or you got to go out here and rebuild something, and it's a very small beginning because you've taken a lot of losses. If God himself is saying that he sits back and he rejoices to see the beginning works of something, then why would you give up? Why would you still be angry? Why would you feel like it is not meant for you to be who God created you to be? God is saying right there, he's rejoicing. He's excited to see the beginning works of your small beginning. Some of you all, you may be very nervous speaking in front of an audience. You publicly speaking or being a social media influencer, some of you all, you feel like, well, I don't have this extravagant backdrop. I don't have this expensive camera. I don't have someone to do my hair and makeup. I don't have an expensive microphone. So all I have is just my iPhone. All I have is my Android phone. All I have is my little small 1 bedroom apartment. Or mainly I could just make videos in my car because I don't have a lot of space where I live at. Let me tell you all something. Don't despise that small beginning. God is on your side and he is excited and rejoicing at you starting over. It could have been a point where at one time you did have a 3 or 4 bedroom apartment, or you lived in a house. And like I said in the beginning of this message, it got taken away from you. It got destroyed. You may have been in real estate before and things went wrong. You were not able to manage it properly. You didn't have the finances. Maybe if you owned a restaurant and you had to close it, you didn't have a long clientele when it came to you doing taxes, or when it came to you doing hair, or when you had opened up a daycare. Whatever your situation was, if you are now at a new starting point and you are at a very, very small beginning, I am telling you, my brothers and sisters in Christ, please don't despise the small beginnings, because every single thing that you add to whatever your starting point is, you'll look around 3, 4, 6, 8 months from now or a year from now, and you'll have double or triple of what you had at that first starting point. You never give up on yourself. I'm going to just tell you all the truth. You never give up on yourself. It does not matter what people think. It does not matter what people say. It does not matter how people feel about you. You never give up on yourself. Do you know that people will sit back and they will talk about you and pass very strong opinions about you and who they think you are and what you're doing, but they will never do what you're doing. They won't even try to take step one. I told you all this before in that consistency video. That's a very real thing. So if somebody can talk you out of believing in yourself, or if they can discourage you from doing something in your life that's going to help to catapult you to the next level, then they're going to do it. If you sit back and you receive what they're saying and you accept it. So I'm telling you all, whatever your small beginning is, you can be at a small beginning of a relationship. Let's just say you've been a man or woman out here and you have been dating for years and years and years. And the boyfriend or the girlfriend you had, you would always introduce your new man or your new woman to friends and family members, and they felt some type of way about it, and they stopped taking you seriously because you cannot keep a relationship. But there's a difference between you having relationships when you're just out here in the world versus you become a man or woman of God, and now you are dating with purpose. Hear what I said? You're dating with purpose, and you're dating and you are under God and in God's will. It's different. It's a small beginning. It's a new life for you. You're a new creature. I need you all to know that. When you are in the world, you are totally different being in the world and living on the system of the world than you being in the kingdom and living under the will of God. And this all applies not only to dating, not only to how you walk and talk and dress or act or even think, but it's also with a small beginning. Could it have been that with some of you all, your small beginning started because whatever you had the first time around, you did not do it God's way. You probably got it by ill means. There are some people who got a business. They got a salon. They got that boutique. They got a restaurant. And it was with drug money. It was with stolen money. They stepped on some people's toes to climb up the ladder of success. And so now you may be a different man or woman. And now because you lost a lot, things got taken away from you. You couldn't properly manage things and it got destroyed. Now you're willing to do it God's way. You're on a totally different system. You are living a different type of life. You are now a new man or a new woman. All I'm saying to you all as I close out this video message, do not despise your small beginnings. Stop always expecting your new level and your beginning spot to be magnificent and extravagant and glorious. It's not always going to be like that. Sometimes your small beginning, like I said, you only have a few things. You only have scraps of something that you need to start off from a new point. Everything is not going to be given to you overnight. There are some people, when they start a business, they have more than enough. They have more than enough products. They have more than enough clientele. They have more than enough supplies. But that's not everybody's story. Everybody has a different background. Everybody has a different story. And like I said, there's a big difference between you living your life and doing something in the world and you were just self-seeking versus you said, okay, now I'm going to do it God's way. Now, Lord, I'm going to wait on you. You said that my gift would make room for me. And so I'm going to sit back and let my gift make room for me. I want to be under your will, God, not my own. So you just never know. But for those of you who has taken those hits and now you like, man, I got to start all over. I lost so many products and supplies and customers that I had when I was doing that particular thing. The level of influence and popularity that I had when I was doing that a couple of years ago or 5 years ago, I lost it. I don't have that anymore. Some things got out about me. Some things were said about me. People are not looking at me the same, So why would I start over? I'm telling you, don't allow that to shut you down and make you give up. When you doing something God's way, I'm going to tell you what I've learned about God. God is not always going to act or react quickly. And he's not always going to act and react at the time that we want him to. It takes time. But you building things in small increments and things moving a little bit slower, you learn to appreciate it. You learn to manage it better. You learn to build a clientele that is going to be consistent, not flaky. That's what I need you all to know. So that's the video message, guys. Like I said, go and read Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. And read that entire story. And I want you all to look at your own life. If you are starting over again, but it's a very, very small beginning, don't be upset about that. Don't be ashamed of that. Just don't. Because where you are now and the sacrifices that you're making now and how you're building now, in the next 5 months, you will be at an even higher level. Stay consistent, stay prayed up, stay positive. Don't give up on yourself. Stop looking over to the left lane and the right lane and looking behind you and comparing yourself to everybody else and what they getting and what they have going on. You got to focus on your life. Focus on what you're doing. Because the minute you start focusing on what everybody else has and what they doing and how they got something quicker than you, but they didn't put in the amount of work you put in, that's when you lose it. You got to keep your eyes on God, my beautiful brothers and sisters. Keep your eyes on God. If you keep your eyes on God and you're in God's will, you can't lose. You can't go wrong. I don't care if it took somebody 2 months to get something, but it takes you 5 years to get it. You're still winning as long as you in God, baby. You better understand it and you better know it. People can laugh and say whatever they want. Baby, you better look at them and be like, but look, I'm doing it God's way. So I'm on God's time scale. I'm not on yours. I'm not on the world's time scale. So where you feeling like it's taking me a long time and you laughing and cracking jokes about where I'm recording and what I'm cooking and I only got these 2 meals and I can only do these 2 hairstyles and I only got 2 songs out on my mixtape or whatever, baby, they don't understand. You doing it God's way. He's excited to see the beginnings of your small beginnings. And that is the video message. Well, guys, it's time for me to go because I have some other things to do. The Lord willing, I will be back with another video message. If any one of you have been offended by anything I spoke about in this video message, it's okay. It's all right. I'm not worried about it. I am not concerned because I know you will forgive me in the morning.